I was really fortunate before his illness, and then when he passed away, I got to be on stage once with Zig Ziglar, one of my teachers. And it was 10,000, 12,000 people actually it's more than that, in a big stadium in Milwaukee. And backstage I said, so tell me, Zig, what do you do about that guy in the third row who's asleep? Like, because I'm standing up there, and I've flown halfway across the country, and I've practiced this thing, and that guy, he's asleep, or he's not paying attention.
Yeah.
I said, and Zig, I'm giving him everything I've got. I'm aiming all my photons and tachyons at him, and he's just not responding. And I can't do Zig's voice anymore, but Zig turned to me and he said, it's not for him. It's that woman sitting next to him on the edge of her seat, the one who's came a long way to hear you speak, the one who's listening to what you're saying, is going to do something. It's for her.
Yeah.
Don't take it away from her and give it to this guy. He doesn't deserve it. It's for her. And once we learn to shun the non-believers, once we learn to be comfortable enough to say, it's not for you, then we free ourselves up, because no one can make something for everyone. No one. There's no product that everyone wants. So you can either spend all your time trying to get the last person to like you, or you can say, I'm sorry, it's not for you. I'll go talk to these guys instead. Part of what happens if you're going to be an entrepreneur or even a freelancer, someone dancing on the edge, is you're paying attention to the audience. You want to know if you're making a sale. You want to know if it's working. You're not just phoning it in.
Right.
So, in the old days, it was one phone call a day could make or break your day. Now it's one email every 10 seconds could make or break your day, right? So you have to decide first, are you open to letting the world have at your work?
Yeah.
Well, 17 books in, I think I am. 4,800 blog posts in, I'm sort of hooked on this.
Yeah.
Then the question is, what are you going to do with it when it comes back? Because it does come back. You touch people and they touch you back. So I have no comments on my blog. I don't read my reviews on Amazon. And the reason is self-preservation. It has nothing to do with vulnerability, because I've put it into the world.
Yeah.
But I realized I'd never met an author who said, Seth, I read all my one-star reviews on Amazon and now my writing is a lot better. Right?
Yeah.
That's just not what happens.
Yeah.
So those don't exist. If someone sends me an anonymous email, I'm going to delete it. But if someone, and there's thousands of people who I have some sort of digital connection with, has some feedback on something I've done, I'm going to listen to it, and I'm open to it, and there's an exchange that goes on. And more important, millions of people are talking to each other about my work. You have to be open to that. You have to be ready for that to happen. I am not saying you need to become some magic little echo chamber, and that's why I don't use Twitter, because I realized if I got sucked into Twitter, it's like playing tennis with 150 people at a time. You hit the ball once, and then a whole bunch of balls come back. You'll never be able to keep up with that.
Yeah.
So part of this discipline is not becoming J.D. Salinger and living isolated in a cabin, but figuring out how to be in the world, learn enough from the world that your stuff gets better, but continue to make things, continue to put these ideas into the world. I can't grab a huge amount of market share by being 10 cents cheaper.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. So how am I going to grow? I'm going to grow by being 10 cents more trusted, not by being 10 cents less expensive.
I think that's an amazing bit of advice for entrepreneurs, people who are starting their own company. And I think it's subtle, so I want to underscore it, because the mindset is, I need critical mass. I need a gazillion, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And you're saying the connected economy, no.
That's right.
I mean, it depends, I guess. I mean, if you're Facebook, then you do need critical mass, but you don't need it for most of everything else.
Well, please understand, Facebook ended up being worth $1 billion when they only had 2 million members.
Yeah.
Right? That's, what, 1 out of every 3,000 people on the planet. That's not critical mass. That's not how many people drink Coke. It's this tiny, tiny number.
Yeah.
Because what the investors saw is it led to trust. And, in today's news, we see that app Mailbox just got acquired by a company called Dropbox before they earned $1 in revenue.
Right.
So what did they have? Anyone could have copied their design. What they had was the ability to bring something to the market that people would trust with their most precious digital information, their email, and wait in line for weeks to get a hand on, right? So they demonstrated that they could do it. For most people, for a chiropractor, it's 100 people, right? For somebody who's selling insurance, it's 1,000 people who truly trust you. So the question I would ask the entrepreneur, the freelancer, the consultant, the person who works at a big company is, do more people trust you and pay attention to you today than 6 months ago?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do between now and 6 months from now that's going to radically change the number of people and how deeply they pay attention and trust you?